Good evening guys and welcome to James Talks Games. Everybody aboard the Dogmess Express as we take a trip to Excrementville to take another look at an absolute abomination of a video game. This week's catastrophe is the one, the only, Duke Nukem Forever. The reason I can't stand this game is not because it's cack, it's because it was overhyped cack. And that's even worse. We had to wait 15 years since the release of Duke Nukem 3D on the PC for this game, as it was in development hell. And Jesus Christ, I wish it had stayed there. The first big problem you notice is before you actually start the game, and how abysmal the loading times are. I honestly thought my Xbox had crashed when I was first playing the game. Empires have risen and fallen in the time it takes this game to load. 45-second loading times. That's old school, man, and not in a good way. So once the game's actually bothered to load, you're struck by a number of horrible things. Terrible voice acting, abysmal visuals. I was looking at a game that looked like it was generations behind. Awful frame rate to start with, jerking around, and accompanied by this terrible, terrible voiceover, almost laughable. And then it's onto the toilets. Well publicised, as if it was some kind of selling point for the game. You can actually go into a toilet a few minutes into the game, pick up a big wet dirty turd and proceed to throw it around the room. God knows what the developers were thinking. This kind of stuff ain't amusing really, surely? I mean, I'd rather play with a turd than play this game, to be honest. But whoa, James, I'm hearing you say, don't be so harsh, maybe it's not your type of humour. Well, the thing is though guys, back in 1996, we thought it was hilarious, you know, even though we didn't understand a lot of the in-jokes and stuff. So why don't we find this funny? And I'll tell you why. It's because we've grown up since then. All the demographic that was playing Duke Nukem 3D back in the day are going to play this game and think, what the fuck happened? But I wanted to give the game a chance, and so I was willing to ignore the juvenile, immature humour of the game and actually play it for what it is. What I mean by this is the basics. First up, the level design is terrible. Generic first-person shooting levels mixed with these, they have to be played or seen to be believed, these driving stages where you're in a monster truck tearing around this long monotonous road. It goes on forever. Honestly, it feels like it goes on forever. And when something goes wrong and it stops, boom, back into a loading screen. Even cool little ideas like the shrink ray quickly become tired in this game. There was a bit I enjoyed where you have the remote control truck and you're trying to get it up ledges and across these areas, but that becomes boring because it just goes on for too long and it's repeated. There's just no real originality in this game. It's like the developers threw a few ideas on a piece of paper, couldn't think of anything else, and just thought, right, we'll extend that for, you know, 40 minutes. We'll bang that in a couple of times in different variations. Duke himself is just not a likeable character. You know, you want him to be this funny, quick-witted, you know, laid-back kind of action hero, but what you get is like a sexist, misogynistic pig. He's the kind of guy down the pub who you think is going to be a right laugh, but he has a few beers and turns into an absolute twat. I'm not gonna lie guys, I didn't finish this game. I didn't even come close. Not because it was hard or difficult, I just couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered wasting any more time through loading screens or playing endless, boring, empty levels. So to sum up, a terrible game, awful visuals, awful sound, an unlikable character, abysmal voice acting, all in all, absolute dog shit. The thing is, like many fans, I've been waiting a long time for this. We'd heard rumours here, we'd heard rumours there, it finally arrived, and what we got was terrible. I'm not angry, I'm just very disappointed. Nice one guys, cheers.